ready.
Okay. I'm doing my presentation on, as you can see, optical illusions and tricks played on the mind. You don't have to look at that, it's just for the two visual aid things, information. So, basically, everyone, well, mostly everyone knows that your eyes are one of your main senses, the others being feeling and hearing. And your eyes use 50% of, almost 50% of your brain. And as powerful as they may be, they're not actually the things that see. They just transmit electrical pulses to your mind to make what you see. And they're not as powerful as you may think. Now, this solution, if it works at long distances, is made to if it would work, it's
It's working.
oh. Okay, I guess I've seen it so many times it doesn't work on me anymore. If you look at one spot and focus on it, the rest will seem to be either rotating or moving in some fashion. That is because when you focus on one spot, you're using your main vision, and everything else has to be determined by your peripheral vision. Your main vision is everything that you just focus on. Like if you stare at someone's face, you don't really see the rest of it, and everything just gets fuzzy. Your peripheral vision is like a secondary thing, so it has to make sense of the world around you. It has just basic motion sense. It doesn't see clear shapes or clear colors. It can just perceive motion. That's why it looks like it's shaking whenever, or shaking or rotating, because they're in circle shapes, which you would expect to be spinning around, because you've seen it so many times throughout your days or throughout your life that almost every time you see a circle, you expect it to be spinning around in a circle. So there's many other types, and this is actually used for like performances. Like magicians would use this to trick their audiences into just looking away while they perform something else, or tricking them into thinking something that's not actually there. So, like, you can pass your hand through something that's not really there. This next one I could not get to work, so I had to set up a thing. Never mind, I'll do that later, because... shoot, nothing works right. I'm sorry. Now, pretty much all of you have seen me doing this throughout the week or whenever since this was assigned. You stare at the center and it makes everything just get all loopy. Y'all know it, you've all probably done this before, and you've probably seen it at like parties or other performances. Now how this works is, if you stare at it long enough, it'll take the motion of that, and if you can look at something that's close to you, like close range, it'll put that motion onto it, and that'll make it look weird. Now, I'll stop for a second so everyone can try that real quick, and like, and the bigger it gets, the easier it is for the effect to be transferred onto another object, and it doesn't really work as it goes faster, which is that thing in the top right-hand corner, so I won't mess with that because it will not work. So, if you stare at it longer, it'll have longer-lasting effects. Shorter times is just for having fun, messing with people, stuff like that. So, I'll leave that up there because I don't need it anymore. The second half of my presentation is the time perception that everyone has. everyone has seen a movie where someone talks about having a sixth sense, right? Well, technically that is true, but not in the way that they say they have it. Every person, when they are born, unless they have been born with a disability, can somewhat be able to tell time. Not like actually tell it, but have just a basic sense on how long it's been. Like when you're on a roller coaster, you think it's been like 2 or 3 minutes and it's shorter than that. That's your perception of time. So could everyone like close their eyes, but not out loud, count to 10, and whoever gets the closest, they have probably the best sense of time. So do that now.
Close your eyes, count that.
Yeah, in your head. Who has opened their eyes yet? Who has? John. So, those people back in the back row have a good perception of time. Now, it's somewhat difficult because it can be altered just as easily as your eyes can, as you see. So, whenever you have like an adrenaline rush or you're running, everything seems to just slow down and it just seems to take longer. It's probably shorter than it actually is because whenever you have that rush of energy, your mind slows it down for you so you can make sense of it, so you can react faster and quicker. So if someone's following you on the street and it's like at night, everyone's just like, it seems like they're all standing still when someone's coming closer to you and you're running as fast as you can to get away. So you are like, your brain's slowing everything down so you don't run into someone or get caught or stuck on something, so you can escape faster. Now this can happen in the opposite, where time seems to go faster. This usually happens when everything's just completely standstill, whenever we're all working in here and it's just completely quiet and everyone's just focused and it's silent, even if that happens on rare occasions. So your mind will pretty much quicken things up because it gets bored and it will get distracted to, basically it just does not want to focus on one thing. So it'll move time faster to get out of the way or just get on to the next thing. So people who can focus on something for a really long time and get it done fast, they are very good at a lot of stuff that probably has to do with that skill set. Maybe like playing a game or something like that. Also, as you get older, it seems like time will start to slow down, mostly because you're older, you're old. So you have a lot more stuff to do, your day's packed, it just drags on, and it's just to help you get your work done easier so it doesn't feel like you're too rushed. So in a way, your brain tries to help you out. In other ways, it's not a very good help. And that's